this week really is to learn how to install and configure and use Python. So the main purpose really will be for us to learn how to install, configure, and use Python. If you go to our course website over on Blackboard, all of you right now will have access to Blackboard. And if you go there onto Blackboard, you'll be able now to see all the content and materials regarding on how to do the installation and configuration and the use of Python. Now, most important resource that we have is to go to the python.org website, and this is where the organization which basically is created for the support of the development of Python. If you go on there, you're going to see the downloads. You click on downloads, and here you'll be able then to download either for the Windows operating system, Linux or Unix operating system, and for those of us who are using Apple products, OS X, then you'll be able to download it from there. Now, we are using Python 3.7.4, and therefore I would like you to download that. Now, when you download Python, remember this is the compiler, okay? Compiler. And compiler or an interpreter helps us, move from the source code, which is like English like statement, English like commands, like statements, okay, or what we normally refer as code, and interprets this for the machine. Basically zeros and ones. So that's an important thing. So when we download Python, we are really downloading this compiler or a Python interpreter that is able to translate for us from the source code over to the machine. So the major question is then, where do we write the source code? Where do we write the source code? Now, for that, there are various editors. We have to use editors to be able to do so. Normally, we can have what is called integrated development environment. And that's an environment that will have a compiler and an editor, grouped up together. Okay, group up together. A good example for this is PyCharm. PyCharm is a good one, so you can download that. Maybe NetBeans also has it, etc., and many others. I think Visual Studio would also work. Visual Studio Community possibly would also still work over here. Okay, so but in this class, or the intention of this class, is for us to use editors. Okay, and there could be many of them. Examples are Atom. We have Sublime Text. We can have BBE, or we can have Text Wrangler, and many others. For example, I'm using here Text Wrangler, so I could use this to write my Python code. The idea is that we're using use these to write Python, or edit code. That's my idea. So once you have installed Python onto your machine, by going over to this website, there are a couple of resources that I've pointed out on how to install. If you go onto the course website, then you will be able then to download it, install it, configure the right environment variables for it, and then once you have done that, download Sublime Text. Sublime Text will look something like this, and this is where then we can be able to write this particular code for our Python. Now, if the Python has probably been installed properly, then you could go to your command prompt. You can do this for Windows, or you can go for Linux or Mac. And if you just type Python, for example, like that, then what's going to happen is that, for example, this shows me that I'm using Python 2.7 I'll need to update this. I'll need to update this to Python 3.7. But it should be able to show you what kind of Python you're using, and when it was installed or updated, and what kind of compiler that you're using for this. Then now if you see this information, then you can carry out some few things. For example, as I mentioned in the notes, Python is dynamic, so I can sort of create a comment like this and say Python is dynamic language. And to demonstrate that, I can put in some variables. For example, I can say A is equals to 7, I can say B is equals to 9, and then I can say print, and then I say A plus B, and that will print for me 16. So this sort of means that when we have this compiler and we have a terminal, we can call this to start writing up our Python code. Now, that's one way of doing this, and I'll add that now over there.